So, Swagoo, I will ask you as directly as I can. What is he talking about, and why is he saying that publicly?
Listen, I was furious. And the reason I was furious is because this coaching staff didn't need to mention any player's name after that game.
That's right.
We don't absolve players.
That's right.
And you know damn well I don't absolve players when they play terrible. And Tom Brady played terrible, along with Tampa's offensive line, along with a lot of people on defense as
All
well.
53.
But Bruce Arians and Byron Leftwich had a plan that was horrible to play against the Saints. And then even when you see how the game is transpiring and the Saints are scoring and Todd Bowles as well, let me put him in there with the terrible game plan as well. When you see the game playing out the way it was playing out, the offensive line was getting whooped. And I know Jeff don't like to hear that, but they were getting whooped by Cam Jordan, Marcus Davenport,
That's a fact.
Hendrickson. They were getting rushed with 4. And then you look on the other side, and Todd Bowles continuing to be aggressive, and Drew Brees is getting the ball out of his hands in 1.2 seconds. Place a man, rush 4, and let guys do what they do. B.A. doesn't need to say another player's name in the press conference. He doesn't need to say another player's name all week. Give them a better plan, see if they can execute it, and then you can run into them if they don't execute that game plan the right way. But that was a terrible game plan by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, BA's high, man. This doesn't make any sense, right? If you look at Tom Brady for his entire career, bro, his entire career, if you move this cat off the spot, he's a different guy. In the wins this year, Greeny, they've had 4.5 pressures. They win the game. 13 pressures, they lose the game. They had 19 the other night. Why are we looking at if Mike Evans is the number 2 read, you ain't never getting there, bro, because all the pressure. Hendrickson had 3 sacks in 3 consecutive plays. I mean, are you freaking kidding me, dude? I mean, this ain't Lawrence Taylor, bro. This is an offensive line that played like trash. We're getting whooped, and there was no adjustment of let's get the ball out of our hand and some check downs and let players go make plays. We still want to drop back 5 steps, 7 steps, and let it go. Okay, well, that's on you then, B.A. Like, don't put this thing on one guy. And to Swagoo's point, man, they all played like trash. We win as a team, lose as a team. Don't be dividing by saying Evans is open. I mean, seriously, bro? Open for who? I mean, I don't even get it. That was a ridiculous comment.
Greg, let me ask you a quick question here. From a quarterback's perspective, let's say he is talking about Brady, because it certainly sounds like it is at least aimed partially at Brady. Would it be legitimate criticism? Let's put aside whether it's something he should say publicly or not. Would it be legitimate criticism of Brady if you just look at the game film from Sunday night?
Well, the fact that you can't play quarterback by yourself, and as good as Tom Brady is, he's the GOAT, best ever. He cannot elevate everyone around him. Let's consider the source here. I mean, Bruce Arians trying to support his staff. He's got to deflect, and he's got to, heaven forbid, he takes blame, and Byron Leftwich takes blame for the atrocious plan. I agree completely with what both Swagoo and what Jeff said, because it was awful. Now, Brady, certainly, he shares some of the burden, because this is a guy that over the course of his career, like Jeff said, he doesn't play well when he's put under duress. He didn't make good decisions. I thought he predetermined a few too many times, and he also just looked lethargic. It just didn't look like there was any energy. There wasn't any level of emotion that we need to see from him to kind of crank that offense into gear. It was too little too late. It was a really bad performance. And I think that Tom Brady has shown this year the ability to bounce back. He was criticized early. I expect him to play really well in their next game. So I'm not that concerned big picture, but I really don't like the rhetoric that Arians used to come down on his players when, frankly, first person he needs to criticize is himself with the pathetic plan he put forth.
Yeah, we're going to talk much more about this game with Dan Graziano. There's one other name that has not been mentioned in this conversation yet that maybe is a factor, and if not, might become one.
Well, Antonio Brown, right? I mean, they bring in this wide receiver that the quarterback wants, that the coach is on record saying he didn't want back in the offseason, and you bring him into a situation that's obviously still not all the way settled. The Buccaneers are loaded with talent. We have seen them play like one of the best teams in the league, but it's still a situation where the pieces are coming together and it isn't all the way clean all the time. It's possible that adding Antonio Brown to this mix where the wide receivers already aren't getting the targets and the catches that they want to get could cause more problems than it solves going forward.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.